We're Sharon and John, and we've just completed the first 6 months of America's Great Loop on our brand new Greenline 39.
Here's a little bit about the Great Loop for those who are not familiar with it or would want to learn some more about it.
Just come out of a lock, and then we're going to go in the lock.
Yep, sorry.
You got that.
That's so
good. We've been thinking about America's Great Loop for a number of decades, and it's been a thing on our bucket list. 40 years ago at least, I read about this fantastic journey through Canada, which involved a railway system which moved boats from one place to another in Canada. And so I've always fascinated with that. Found out more recently it was part of America's Great Loop. Wanted to explore it at some point, found out more about it, and we had the opportunity to purchase a Greenline, and that has enabled us to take on the Great Loop as part of our cruising goals and part of our retirement plan, and it's just been so much fun. It's around 5,000 nautical miles anti-clockwise around US and Canada, and we've taken it on from Florida up to New York, up and all the way up to Montreal in Canada, and then west across the St. Lawrence Seaway, across the Great Lakes, down to Chicago, and then into the Mississippi River and other rivers, down to the Gulf, and then around to Florida. So we've completed a bit over half of that journey, and we hope to take on some more of it next year. So the boat is at a marina in Columbus, Mississippi, and it's safely above the hurricane line at 33 degrees north, and we're hoping it's safe there for the winter.
I know that there's many miles and smiles still to come.
That's it. Complete our loop, we intend to go further south on the river system, out to the Gulf, and then across the Gulf, which is now called the Gulf of America, across the Gulf to Florida, and then around to the East Coast, where we'll be completing our loop. We also intend to visit the Bahamas Islands for around 2 months as part of that trip.
America's Great Loop, they have a really great association that supports you in the journey and everyone that's part of it. And so any marina that you are at, people will come and they see the burgee at the front of the boat and identify that you're doing the Great Loop, and they may have already completed it and have a gold burgee, which means that they've done the loop. We found the organisation was helpful in giving us marinas where we could stay, a great community that we could chat to about where we'd come so far. It's just great to be part of a community, so that was a lot of fun.
Americans and Canadians, one thing that we found was they are so kind and hospitable.
Yeah.
And just being able to start a conversation with them, and the next minute they're inviting you for dinner, for breakfast, for a trip to the grocery store, so many good things, and that happened continually wherever we were, and it was a great experience just through that whole, just meeting new people. We've made some great friendships through Canada and the US now, which really blows us away.
And a lot of them used the phrase when we were thanking them for their generosity, and they would say, "We're just boaters helping boaters," and that was really lovely.
They are interested in our journey and the boat's ability to take on such a long journey, and we've had people on board to show them around and to show them what they can have with that. And so the focus on the Greenline is on a really comfortable apartment style living, which has not been compromised because of anything in the design. So it's been a really good experience just to share that with Americans. We've had a great experience with the Greenline. It's performed beautifully, and it hasn't let us down at all. But what's the highlight is just the people that we've met over there, which has been great.
So we can't wait to get back.
Yeah.
They have something over there that they call docktails, and of course it's cocktails on the dock in the afternoon. But when we were in Canada, the beautiful people that were anchored around us, they set out in their dinghy and they make sure that every boat is invited if they'd like to come up over to the rocks, and you take your dinghy over with some things that they were so lovely with sharing whatever they had on their boat and enjoying lovely conversations. So that was definitely a highlight for me.
Hi, here's another vessel. Come to dock with Miami.
Probably 50-50.
Yeah.
We anchor out where we can, and in some places marinas are the only option, and in the US they are prolific. There's marinas everywhere, so there are a lot of choices. There are also a lot of good anchoring choices, and that's unless we're needing to find groceries and water, fuel, etc., we will try and anchor out. So. The big chute in Canada is a railway bridge or a railway car that moves the boat from one waterway across a highway into another waterway. So to put your boat on there, it's done very professionally, and it's a wonderful system, been operating for more than 100 years. It was just very exciting and an amazing part of the journey. As well as that, we've been through over 100 locks in Canada, designed and built in the early 1800s, through to very large ship locks on the St. Lawrence Seaway, as well as the Mississippi. So that's been exciting.
You know, there's so many highlights. Our daughter lives in New York, and so to come into New York Harbour and to cruise past the Statue of Liberty, and then we stayed at a marina called Liberty Landing, and we were on the back of the Greenline having drinks in the afternoon, and right behind us was the Statue of Liberty, and it gave you goosebumps just thinking, oh my goodness, how on earth are we doing this? So that was a highlight.
Truly feels like a floating apartment.
Another one was waking up in a small creek in South Carolina. We were on anchor, and outside the boat there's an old alligator circling around the boat, and we were completely safe, but it was very exciting to see that, as well as the dolphins in front of the boat as we worked our way up. Look, I think there were beautiful anchorages through Canada, anchoring with beautiful mountains all around, and such incredible waterways that there was all fresh water, completely different to what we experience in Australia, where there's things that will sting and bite, and none of that in Canada or the US until you get further south.
Yes.
It was fantastic. The bushwalking up there, you could climb mountains, you could pick wild blueberries, you could enjoy fires on the rocks with fellow boaters. The anchorages are amazing. They're so extensive.
Mm.
Boaters get lost up there for 3 months in summer every year, and that that you can see why. It's just there's so much to explore in that space. The New York Valley, coming up from New York City all the way to Montreal, is a very ancient landscape which has got mountains either side. It was very beautiful, which was a spectacular boating trip up through there, and there's so much more to see. So we're hopeful the next 5 years of exploring to really go back every year in the summertime and keep exploring as long as we can.
I would like to speak about Montreal. We fell in love with this beautiful city. As we pulled into the marina, it was in the old part of the city. It was a wonderful summer day, and we walked up a ramp, and then from the city it looks down onto the marina. And I said to John, can you believe that is our boat down there, and we are actually doing this? It was like it was someone else's boat and someone else's story.
Yeah, it was good.
But it was ours.
Oh, I'm gonna get a
Definitely a highlight.
Yeah, no,
Sorry,
no, you've done me in. You've done me in. No, there was lots of good stuff. But that was good.
Yeah.